Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in to our Empowerment Tuesday. Welcome. This is Kim Hui. I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, from my home in LA. It's interesting. Every time I watch that little video, I get a little emotional. Indeed, we are living in very special times. Uh, in the world. This thing called life that we all get to experience, I would say, in this physical body. I want to welcome all of you to our Empowerment Tuesday. And today's topic is daily practice. This has been an incredible 18, 19 months journey. And so, as you know, yes, this is a business platform. And I often said that this is as much of a life platform as a business platform. And part of the intention of us doing these Empowerment Tuesday is that to offer some of the insights, some of the experience from this journey called life that we're embarking on through this platform called Three. And so I want to welcome you and daily practice. I think maybe we should all learn to have a daily practice of taking a deep, deep breath. Anyway, so I've had a pretty tough couple of last few days, and so it's living, right? And so it doesn't matter where you are in life, there's always lesson, there's always things that's popping our ways. And today's topic is daily practice, and so I want to cover the daily practice and break it down to three parts. Okay, three, no pun intended. All right, so the first part I want to talk about is the intention. Okay. In our daily practice. Okay. So this is a business platform and it's also life, so fascinating. So first part is intention that we're going to talk about in this daily practice. Okay. The second part we're going to talk about is the approach, how we approach our daily practice. Okay. And part three that we're going to talk about is the process of this daily practice. All right. Now, with that said, I know that, this is a entrepreneurial movement. This is a business platform. So let's bring it to our daily practice in building up our business, in building up our customer base. Okay. So let's talk about our intention. And I think in everything that we do, and the reasons why every time I watch that video, I get emotional because it all reminded me of the intention that why we started this project, why I started this project. Okay. Not me. I was called to do this task in this time that we're living in right now. All right. So anyway, the intention. So as you're out here building your business, I think the intention in which you start building your business is very important because that actually it creates a psychological thing for us to go approach our business. So I want to talk about the intention. I want to talk about three G's, okay? In the intention for you building this business, I would say three G's, okay? Now, the first G in the intention is to get, okay? Get. The first G is get, G-E-T, okay? So the second one is to give, okay? The third G stands for a gift. Okay. So let's talk about the first G. Okay. Most people starting a business in a platform like this, in the beginning, and it's really unconscious, it's part of our programming as if, like, ooh, now that I'm in this platform, who can I get in a business? So now, who can I get? Some people's unconscious intentions, who can I go get in the business? So the get compared to who can I give? Who can I give this opportunity to? It's completely different frequency. Who can I get? It's quite aggressive. Who can I get them in the business? Or who can I give this opportunity to? And so there is a magical shift when you go from get to give. Okay. Why do we give this opportunity? Because that brings to the third G. Okay. That third G is a gift. Voila. Okay. So it is a gift. So why do I call it a gift? That is the second part, okay, which is the approach. Okay. Now, so the intention, when you set out the intention that building your business is like, okay, I have a phenomenal gift. I've been gifted with this opportunity. And who can I offer this opportunity to as a gift? Who can I give it to? Okay. So I want you to think about this. Is the pressure off your shoulder a lot more when you say, who can I give this opportunity to? Who can I offer this opportunity to? Rather than who can I get? Okay. So that intention is very important. That's how I started this whole thing 19 months ago, 18, 19 months ago. It is the act of giving and offering the opportunity through this platform called Three. All right. So I hope that you get the three G's. Okay. One, some people, if we can all shift from get to get someone to get to give someone. Okay. And the third G is a gift. Now let's look at the approach. When you have a gift to give, does it sound a lot more easier on you? I mean, I want you to just just breathe in for that second. Just try it for size. That if you have a gift to give, try that for size. Is it easier? Is it easier? Because that feeling, the feeling of doing this, it's much more lighter. It's much more happier. Now, the approach is a gift. So why is it a gift? Why is it a gift? Let me ask you this. When you talk to somebody and say, listen, doing whatever you are doing currently, how many more years can you see yourself doing that? Can you see yourself doing it when, until you're 65, 68, 70? Last time I asked this question, a couple told me, say, Kim, we are already 60, past 65. Okay. So, I want you to really, when we forget about any opportunity for a second, when we quiet down, I don't care who you look at, your neighbor, your cousins, your relatives, when they look at the kind of work that they do every single day, people that I know here in America, most people work hard their whole life. So if they work hard their whole life, have they ever wondered, say, you know what? How many more years do I want to continue working like this? Is it serving? Is it giving me fulfillment? Is it giving me meaning? And more importantly, is it taking to me to where I wanted to go in life? So this is something that one must be honest with ourselves. Doing whatever you're doing right now. How many more years can you do that? Can you wake up every single day and say, you know what, I could take this on for another 5, 10, 15 years? I don't know. That is something that they have to answer themselves. So that's people have to be honest with themselves. Forget about what platform, forget about what paradigm, what business modality for a second. I want you to think about this. How many people you know of? Most of the people, the entrepreneur I know, work hard. Some people will do conference calls in the evening hours. Some people will work on a Saturday. Some people will work on a Sunday. Why? Because they have to make ends meet. And so why is this a gift? What is this a gift? This a gift. It could mean different things to different people. When you begin to open up this gift, it could be a gift of health through our product. It could be a gift of time. Okay. Now, of course, it takes a little time to build up your business. But when you do that, when you gain equilibrium in your business, you're going to have a little bit of a balance between your time, the work that you do, and the money that you make. There's no guarantee, but there is a guarantee of possibility. And I want you to compare that with whatever you're doing. whatever you're currently doing, whatever modality that you're operating in, whatever program you're operating in, is it going to bring you the results that you seek for in life? If not, we really got to be in this changing time that we're all living, this crazy changing times. We all need to be open our mind, like cut it open and really explore what's out there and question all the conditionings and all the programs that we've been taught all these years. Is it ultimately going to serve us this lifetime right here? Okay. So in this gift, it could be a gift of health. It could be a gift of a more balanced life, more meaningful, more fulfilling, and something that truly can tap into a better version of yourself. So it is a gift. Now, so when you have a gift, this is a magical gift. Depending on what the other party is looking for. Maybe some people are looking for health. Maybe some people are looking for well-being. Maybe some people are looking for more time freedom. Maybe some people are looking for an opportunity to make more, to be more. I don't know. So it's magical. It depends on the other party, what they're looking for. What they seek, as you seek, you shall receive. Okay. So in this gift, this opportunity. Okay. So in this gift, it's magical. It depends on what the other person wants. So how do we go about the approach in which we can approach other people? It's not to get, but to give a gift. So how do we know if they need this gift? What's your approach? Our approach is to connect. If you really get this here today and you are building this business, I really hope that in my career of 31 years, my entire career, my approach has always been, who can I offer this amazing gift to? Who can I offer it to? So it's a gift rather than who can I get. It's not about getting someone. What good does it do? You get someone to buy something and they do nothing. I don't need that. So who can I give? So how do I find out who I can give? Is by learning to ask questions, by learning to connect with the people you're talking to. I think oftentimes we are so busy, like 31 years as I travel the world, sometimes I see people, I meet people, even people doing training. It's so much of like verbally, ow, ow, ow. But just learn to ask questions. Listen, I know you work hard. You work so hard your whole life. What are you looking for? What is it going to bring more meaning to you? And if money is no issue, what would you rather be doing? And so, or in your lifetime right now, I mean, I see you work so hard. What are you looking for? And you work so hard. Are you open to an opportunity? Or maybe say you have done well. Are you looking for ways to help impact others? So learn to ask questions without being pitchy. Like you don't go pitch. Nobody want to be sold to. So I think that the key thing is knowing that the approach is a gift, right? You're approaching it with a gift in your hand. But how do you know what other people are looking for? You got to ask. There's a saying, right? A closed mouth never gets fed. So you need to learn to ask. Ask questions. I mean, seriously care about the other person. Say, how long you been doing this? How long you been doing as, I don't know, a hairstylist? How long you been working at your job? I mean, whatever they've been doing. So learn to ask questions. That will be the approach. So often, I see people in this industry, in this space, every single day. They sell, they didn't care. They sell, they pitch, and then when they encounter rejection, they take it and they hide into a shelf. And some people would give up on it altogether. So I think having the right intention and the right approach is very important. So that's our daily practice. Now, in that process, okay, so in that process of doing this, that we oftentimes in this business, we have to retune and have to retone. ourselves. So what does that mean? We tune and we tone. As we're embarking on this, I would say this. I had a really rough day on this weekend. So on Sunday, after I put my dad to bed, and my father's 98 years old. So on Sunday evening, a few of my friends were talking about this movie. So I decided to watch a late night movie at the theater. So I went to watch this movie. This movie is called The Wild Robot. If you haven't seen it, I highly encourage you to watch this movie. It is simple, and yet the lessons in it is profound. Especially in the time that we're living in right now, it's uplifting, inspiring, it's emotional. And so it reminded me so much of us as entrepreneurs in this journey and in life. Oftentimes we have been so conditioned, we have been so programmed to discount our own beliefs, to believe what's possible. We have been so conditioned to discount who we truly are. And so the movie, and I'm not going to tell you the whole movie, but there's part of it. I mean, as you watch it, it just gets you say, you know what? I got this. I'm going to do this, because there is such a magical power when you believe, because the power to change is in your belief of what reality is. And I'm going to digress a little bit. I mean, think about this. When I first came to this country over 45 years ago, I didn't even speak a word of English. I only know A to Z. That's it. My alphabets. I couldn't speak English. I went to high school here. I went to college here. And, what are the odds of someone that came here with nothing and having the blessing? And America, I'm telling you, having the blessing of amassing some of the blessing that I have in this lifetime. It's remarkable. And so the process of doing it is that knowing, that sense of knowing that you got this. If I were to look back my 31 years career, okay, no matter how tough time get, I just knew that somehow, somewhat, I don't know how, but I just knew that somehow, somewhat, some way, I will make it and I will be okay. I have done more than okay in 31 years. But sometimes when you're in the valley, when you are down in the valley, you're like, how do I get myself out of this? Retune and retune your thoughts. So often in our life, that we've been so conditioned when times get tough, we kind of retract into our cave. But when you know that it is part of the process, it is part of the journey. You know, how do we bridge the gap? This is a very interesting. I want you to think about this. Most people in life want to be successful, right? Most people want to have money. Most people want to be wealthy, or want all this, right? So what people want and what people are willing to do, how do we bridge the gap? I want you to think about this. If you ask somebody, do you want to be successful? I mean, I'm not going to get philosophical, but if you were to ask a general question as saying, do you want to be successful? Or do you want to live a comfortable life? Most people will say yes. Okay. So most people want this, but how many are willing to do this? But if you knew without a shadow of doubt that when you are, whatever you're doing, if you're willing to do, persistent and consistently, you're willing to do, and you're willing to fine tune, retune, and retone your action, your approach, and your thoughts, things that bound us. If you're willing to retune and retone that, you are going to you're willing to do, you are bound to get to what you want. But the question is, are you willing to do it? I want this. I want to be successful. I want this. I want this. I want this. Okay, meet me here. Come to a meeting. Oh my God, it's hard. No, it's too far. I can't go. What you want, are you willing to do? Okay. And so when you retune, I would say this. Oftentimes people in life, when times get tough, they will choose to use that as an excuse to call it quits. Because it's much easier to quit than to move on. And so, but the choice is within you of what you choose, what you want to, how do you respond to circumstances? And I could tell you that in my 31 years and this as an entrepreneur, that I see, you know what the difference is? Want and do. Most people spend their entire life reacting to emergencies, reacting to survival, instead of responding to abundance. I'm going to say it again. Most people spend their entire life reacting to emergency, reacting to survival, rather than responding to abundance, responding to things, positive things that could change your life. Case in point, when you are offering someone a gift of an opportunity, no, I'm too busy. I'm too busy with surviving. I'm too busy with doing my job. I'm too busy with doing that. And yet they won't respond to a gift. That's okay. When you have the right intention and when you're willing to go through the numbers, when you go without getting attached to what's called the rejection, without getting attached to that, you will get to what you want to go. And so, most people will, why do people quit? Is that I learn over time. People cannot handle the feeling of not being successful. Okay, the feeling of not being successful. What do you mean? If you talk to your neighbor, you talk to your cousin, you talk to your coworker, when they say no to you, you feel like you have failed. You feel like, oh, deflated. No, they just say no to your gift. It is all right. There will be someone that's out there. So in this process, I don't care how gifted you are, how talented you are, that there's three ingredients that one must have to have received this gift, to open the gift, and to manifest the magical power, the magical ingredient that's within the gift. And you know what these three things are? All things come in three. Okay. All good things come in three. All right. So what these three things are, in order for someone to manifest the goodness and to receive the goodness of a gift, three things. One must be open. They got to be open to it. Okay. Second thing, they got to be ready for it. Okay. I am ready for change. I am ready for an opportunity. Like 31 years ago, when I got downsized, when I got laid off, after working in corporate America, being a high paying executive back in those days, I was a six-figure earner a year in a job, right? So, but when I got laid off, I have a car payment to make, I have a house payment to make, and I didn't know how I was gonna make that because I was downsized. I was without a job. So I was ready for change. I was open, I was ready for change. But here's the third thing is very important to manifest success. And that is the willingness to do it. Some people, they're open, they're ready, but they're not willing to do it. Ain't gonna happen. Okay. So that's why is it some people, they join the opportunity and they do nothing because they are not willing to do that. And that willingness could come from, or that lack of willingness could come from that programming, the conditioning of our entire life, wherever life circumstances are, that had conditioned us to lock us in fear. And so here's what I would suggest. Okay. There's another book that my attorney friend told me about, and I loved it. It's called Tiny Habits. If you haven't gotten this book, you can order from Amazon. It's written by the founder of Stanford University. He's the founder of Stanford Behavioral Design Lab. And so he spent his whole entire life studying what drives change in people. And so he wrote this book called Tiny Habits. I love it. It is very simple. Okay. So I'm not going to go into it, but you could order the book and you read yourself. And these are kind of stuff that when you are open, when you're ready, and when you're willing to learn and willing to do, because this is a brand new, you know what? It does sound like a simple business, but there is an art and science in the simplicity of what is that we do. So you got to spend time to learn. I want you to think about this. When you go to university, you invest 4 years to graduate from a major, accounting or whatever. And so some people coming into a business platform like this, they expect to say, you know what? I tried it for a month, I tried it for 2 months, and it didn't work. So it didn't work for me. Well, if that's a paradigm that you discounted for yourself, you're right. But do you want to be right or you want to be right? Right. So these are things internally that we have to question. And so I would recommend you do this, that watch that movie. I don't get paid for saying that, but watch that movie. I hope that it does something, the movie I just told you about, The Wild Robot. Sometimes in life, we got to be that wild, true human being, that wild human spirit, and not let any of our life circumstances, not let any of the programming or the conditioning, what we've been told that what's possible, what we've been told that who we are, let go of that. Let yourself live in your imagination in the wilderness of what's possible for you. I mean, we live in this beautiful, beautiful uh time that we're in. I know it's whatever frequency you're in that you're tuning into. So I would say that make things simple. Okay. So the process every day, you have a gift. And that gift is to either give someone a gift of health. Okay. They can become a customer of yours. Okay. So every day, very simple. You say to yourself, during this process of offering, looking for people to give this gift, you are looking to acquire a customer for people who want to be healthier. Okay. Or to get an interest. Someone say, you know what? I'm open to it. So get an open invitation, get an open interest, get a customer or a customer getter. So make it very simple. You have something to give. When you make it like a child, when you make it a game, it's fun. And that's how I live my career. I tell you, 31 years. If I were to use my logical mind to evaluate my journey, it will be like this. Okay. When I first got involved in this industry, I think the first week, I sponsored 6 people in the business. Okay. And guess what happened? Within the first week, all 6 of people I brought in all canceled, all applied for refund. And this is in the years they have to apply for refund. Okay. And what would happen to my career if I choose to quit? Do you know why I didn't quit? There's something deep in me that says, you know what? I've got a college degree. I worked 10 years in corporate America. And after 10 years with a college degree, I wasn't getting anywhere I wanted to go. I don't want to spend another 10, 20 years of my life just to be so that someone can lay me off again. I want to take control of my destiny, and I know what I'm willing to work for. I was willing to work hard. And I just knew somehow, somewhat, some way, I'm going to make it. And you will too. So this daily practice, life is a dance. I said this with my friend Boyd. I told him, I said, you know what? Life is a dance. You know what the beauty is? You know what the key thing is in life? I mean, logical mind, it could be like, Oh my God, life is dance. Well, you had a rough day. So what? Life is a dance. You know what's the most important thing? Is you got to find grace in its movement. Times might be tough. That's okay. You will find grace. You know when grace come? Is in between your breathing. So, I hope that these three things that I share with you in the last 30 minutes helps you. One is the intention. When whatever you choose to do, it starts with that intention. If your intention was to give, it changes everything. And the approach is to connect with somebody. Take time to find out what is it they're looking for. Because if you have a gift to give, you don't know what they're looking for. You go, hey, you know what? I got a phenomenal business opportunity for you. They're like, no, 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 I'm not looking for business. I just want to be healthier. So you got to find out what is it they want, the approach in which you approach your prospect, your friends. That's important. And so the third part is the process. The process, you got to be willing to do it. You got to be able to chip away the things that no longer serve you. You got to be willing to chip away those in the process of doing it. You're able to chip away the limited beliefs, the things that no longer serve you. It's like Michelangelo, right? Michelangelo carved this beautiful statue called David. Okay, so when there's a reporter, once upon a time, the reporter had interviewed Michelangelo and said, you know what? How did you carve this beautiful, lifelike David out of this piece of marble? From one piece of marble, how did you get David out of it? You know what Michelangelo said? He says, you know what? David was already in the marble. All I did was to chip away the imperfection that doesn't belong to David. So, same thing here. This is an incredible business opportunity, incredible business platform, but it's also a life platform. In this stage of life, that we get to work building towards success, building towards something that which you want, of helping yourself to become successful by impacting other people, helping other people to become successful. And in that process, you got to chip away the things that doesn't serve you. So I hope that you continue to practice and find grace in every movement. Find grace between your breaths. And so I hope it's been helpful to you. I really, really enjoyed today doing this talk with you. And so those of you that have time, if you live wherever you live, you have a theater, go watch the movie, The Wild Robot. May you become the wild spirit you are and not let yourself succumb to any limitation, any programs that discount your belief. With that, thank you so very much. Welcome to Empowerment Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a great week.